Hello, we're going to record, or we're going to create the Craftsman tool set, much like this one right here. It's going to be shelled out on the bottom, so that's what this video is about today. We're going to start by creating a sketch on the top plane, and we're going to draw a pentagon there. So the pentagon is inscribed polygon. We're going to draw this out from the middle. Make sure you're using that origin as your center point. You'll notice that when I draw it, it's actually not a pentagon, it's a hexagon. But don't worry, click your mouse button, and now we'll be able to change the number of sides by just moving our mouse back and forth. So a pentagon has 5 sides. We're going to choose 5. Our dimension for this pentagon is 1.75. Now we're going to straighten out our pentagon. The way we do that is to set a rule for this line, a constraint. We're going to come over here to our constraints menu and hit the down arrow and find horizontal. You'll notice this will make our line become horizontal, and our shape is now fully constrained and it's sitting up straight. All right, next up we're going to do is extrude. We're going to extrude this just a little bit, 0.25 on the depth, and we're going to add something new. This is called the draft. We're going to go ahead and go 45 degrees for this one, and we want to reverse the direction so that it sits more like a volcano. All right, so that's our base. We're going to take the top pentagon, we're going to extrude that upwards, a depth of 0.75, and we're going to do a draft of 3 degrees. And we have to hit this opposite direction arrow because we want it to be more narrow at the top. And you can tell it's getting more narrow at the top if you kind of click on that button a couple times. All right, so for this next step, we're going to turn this pentagon into a circle. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to create a new plane on top of this pentagon. So I'm going to click on the pentagon, I click the plane button, and the pentagon, we're going to make sure this says offset, and our offset distance will be 0.1. Just 0.1. And you'll see we'll get a new plane that's just hovering right above our shape. And we're going to actually sketch on this new plane called plane 1. So we'll go ahead and sketch, and it's asking to select the sketch plane, and it's kind of hard to click on plane 1 at this point because it's kind of behind the front plane, so it's kind of hard to access it. So you might have to move around a little bit. Another quick shortcut is just to come to the sidebar menu and click plane 1 right there. Then you should see the sketch plane as plane 1. And this is where we're going to draw a circle. I want to view this from the top so I can see my origin. And I'm going to make this circle 1.1 for dimension. And you'll notice the circle is hovering right above our shape. It's not on the shape. It's not on the base. It's kind of hovering. And now we're going to combine or join together the pentagon and the circle. So at this point, we're going to green check the sketch. And we're going to find loft, this volcano looking thing. And once you have loft selected, we're going to first click on the pentagon that's sitting below. And then we're going to come up here and click on the circle that's kind of hovering. And it joins that pentagon into a circle. So that's kind of nice. So our pentagon has now become a circle. All right, so we're going to take this circle now and extrude that one upwards, a depth of 0.5 with a 3-degree taper. Hit that direction arrow. So it's getting more narrow at the top. All right, let's go ahead and fillet the top of this. Just 0.1 is good enough for the radius. Smooth that out a little bit. All right. Our next step is going to be to drill some holes on top of this. So we'll sketch on the top of our shape. We're going to start with a circle right at the middle. We're going to dimension that to be 0.25. And we're going to extrude, remove that at a depth of 1.5 inches with a draft of 2 degrees. Hit the rotation arrow. All right, green check mark that. And if I hover over here under my last extrude, make sure that you can see the outline of the hole, and it's skinnier at the bottom. All right, so now we have to drill 5 more holes in a circular pattern. So we're going to do another sketch on the top of our shape. And we'll draw another circle, but this time make sure it's on the y-axis. This line that kind of is right in the middle. We're going to dimension this to be 0.1, and then we're going to dimension it again with the dimension tool. So from the center of the circle we just created to the origin, we're going to make that 0.3. Alright, so our next step is to use the circular pattern tool. So I'm going to just click my circle, highlighted orange, come find the circular pattern tool, and that's going to copy my circle in a circular pattern. But I don't want 3, I want 5. So I'm going to take this 3x, double click it, and change that 3 to 5. And now you'll see I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. And to confirm this, I just have to click on my mouse button. There it is, it's now confirmed. This sketch has to be extruded downwards, so extrude remove. This time 1 inch, 2-degree taper or 2-degree draft, hit the opposite direction arrow. Just hover over that extrude, make sure that it's more narrow at the bottom. Alright, I'm gonna just come over here and kind of turn off some of these planes just to make my shape a little easier to see. It's kind of nice. Excuse me. Alright, so a couple more steps. We're going to take the bottom of our pentagon and extrude that downwards just a bit. We're going to just do a little tiny 0.1 inch extrusion downward with a 2-degree draft. And this one's kind of hard to see, so when you hit that opposite direction arrow, just make sure this one is wider at the bottom. Alright. Turn off my origin as well. Alright, so just about done. You can see it's starting to take shape. The last thing we're going to do is kind of shell this out. So I'm going to just click on the bottom of my shape. I'm going to click on shell from the toolbar, and I'm going to change the dimension here to 1.75 millimeters. So since I'm using millimeters here, I have to type out mm because my default right now is inches. So if I use mm, then it'll know I'm trying to say millimeters. And you'll see what the shell tool does. Kind of clears out the bottom. Alright, and that's it. When you turn this in, I would like a screenshot of the bottom view just so I know you were able to shell it out and I'll be able to see all your holes drilled out. Alright, thank you guys. Have a good one.